What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to season 2, episode 2 of Ignorant Banter, and it's your boy Slimback Jones the Don, aka Black Caesar, aka Caesar Alamo.
As Crazy P, aka CP, aka Fried Beans, Fried Boy. You know what it is? Carnation Milk, Haitian rice and beans. We out here. Yeah, let's get it.
Chip. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Ignorant Banter, coming at you live. Thank you for tuning in. We know our shit gets more ignorant and more dumb as we go, but also more intellectual because that's how we fucking do it on the show.
That's the late night show. Let's get it.
Late night show. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate the support we've been getting on SoundCloud, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So first things, our first segment is Whose Mans Is This, bruh? So this is where we talk about people that be doing dumb shit and just really talk about the crazy shit that's going on in the news. So our very own Black culture's finest, R. Kelly. This nigga is back. He now has a fucking cult. Like,
What the fuck, bro?
yo,
I don't see nothing wrong.
bro,
Hey,
with a little cult.
and cold.
Oh,
All
man.
right, go ahead, bro. Finish.
Yo,
off.
I need Dave Chappelle to come out and have another R. Kelly segment, bro. So pretty much this man is out here recruiting girls to get into his call, and parents willingly are giving their kids up to go into this call or like to meet R. Kelly. I mean, if you're a parent and you know about what R. Kelly did to kids and you voluntarily brought them to R. Kelly, that's a crime. Honestly, I feel like you should be prosecuted. You should be locked up for child endangerment. Why would you bring your child to R. Kelly of all people?
But I mean, if you have a kid, bro, and they have a dream, they want to be a singer, you know what I mean, and they have the chance to meet R. Kelly as a parent, would you not do it?
Hell no. Out of all singers, it's not like R. Kelly's the only singer out there. And if you know, like, unless you don't care about your child and you don't give a fuck if your child gets pissed on, but if you do care about your child and you don't want them to be used as a porta potty, I wouldn't do it.
But I mean, it's hard though. I mean, it's hard to get contacts into the business, right? So let's say you don't know anybody, and then one day you just get that one email from R. Kelly saying, "Hey, I want to meet, I want to meet your up and coming artist, your daughter, blase blase." I mean, like, would you like turn that down, bro? Like,
Yes, I would, because basically R. Kelly's trying to pee on my daughter, and I'm not letting that happen. Hell no.
Shit, I'd be like, baby girl. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to get signed. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
Just take a
get
good shower,
to the
bro.
top.
Just take a good shower afterwards. That's fucked up. But it's true though.
But no, here's the thing. Like, R. Kelly was dating Aaliyah when she was underage. She was like 14, 15 when R. Kelly was dating her. And then it's a little bit disturbing when you listen to some of Aaliyah's songs talking about more than a woman, and like a lot of her songs have to do with R. Kelly. But besides that, he's a known underage rapist. Like, basically, if you're under 18, you don't have the consent. You don't know. I mean, your brain is developed, but this is a grown-ass man that's been around for years, that has like years of experience and is really manipulating you. So besides that, he got caught with the whole child molestation thing, with the whole sex tape. One, I don't understand how this man is free. And two, I don't understand how he could really start a cult. Like, these are willing people that are going into this cult. So it just makes no sense, bro. I don't know. I think R. Kelly needs to be in jail, or we need to trade him to another race, preferably white people.
But the females, bro, these young girls are, okay with it. Like, they're calling home and saying, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm happy where I'm at, R. Kelly." Like, this is my shot. No, this is like this. They called back home and said, "Hey, I'm good. Like, don't worry about me." So it's like, can you blame? I mean, who do you blame? R. Kelly, yeah, but the girl is not trying to escape. They're enjoying that shit, bro. So
yeah, but this man is a manipulator. You know what I'm saying? These are probably women that are desperate for fame. Not even women. These are girls that are desperate for fame, and R. Kelly's just taking advantage of that.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's still human trafficking. So I mean, like, what the fuck, R. Kelly, bro? Like, that's not cool. You know what I mean? But
It's not. I was reading online where they have to ask for food. They have to ask to go to the
yeah,
bathroom.
to use the phone and shit.
Yeah, they have to ask for everything. This man is sick, bro. This man needs to be locked up. That's what I think.
Well, the system has not found him guilty yet, so they should for sure. You know what I mean? But for all the money he has, bro, I don't know.
Well, I was a little bit young when the whole R. Kelly trial was going on. Why isn't he in jail? I mean, he peed on somebody. It's on tape. Why didn't he go to jail? Do you know? Did you follow that at all?
Honestly, bro, I don't know much about it. So, nah. I just know he married Aaliyah at 16, right? She was 16, 15?
Oh, yeah? I didn't even know they got married.
I thought they were married when she was like super young. I don't know, bro. But
But is R. Kelly so important to the culture that he can't get locked up? What songs does he have out there that were like, damn, nah?
No. Don't you go there. Don't you go there with what songs he has. Are you serious right now? What songs he have?
What good R. Kelly songs are classics where we can't just throw this man in jail and pretend like he never existed?
Bro, he got some classics, bro. I'm
Like
talking
what?
about like back in the day. Come on. I mean, bro, I can look this shit up right now if you want, but I'm just thinking about, I Believe I Can Fly is a classic. You know what I mean?
Ignition remix. Okay.
Ignition, bro, and the remix. What else, bro? There's some hits now.
Step to the Name of
you know
Love.
what I mean? Bump and Grind. What else?
True, he does have bump and grind. But that doesn't excuse the fact that he's sick.
Oh yeah, no, he's sick.
You know what I'm saying?
He's sick. You know what I mean?
Lock
But the world's
him up.
latest.
Lock him up.
So I mean, I'm still above his songs, bro. You know what I mean? But no, he's sick. You know what I mean? He's sick. But Slow Wine,
Sicko.
Real Talk, Yeah, but he got some hits. But you know what, bro? He's what, 55 now? How old is this dude, bro? He's 50. I mean, like,
Is he?
I don't
I
know.
feel like he should have been older. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, whose man is this? Who knows?
Yeah, whose man's is this? Arrest R. Kelly. He can just leave back Ignition, the remix, but everything else can go.
Facts. All right. So my whose man is this goes to, I think it's either Leangelo Ball or LeVar Ball. Either way, like one of them got a Ferrari recently, and I'm like, yo, come on, that's such a, you know what I mean? Like they did not listen to a 444 by Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Like you get into some money, and the first thing you do is you go get a Ferrari. It's like, bruh, why don't you invest that shit and fucking, you know what I mean? Build some black wealth, you know what I mean? But we're just buying, you know, shit for white people, you know what I mean? So anyway, fuck you mean? I mean, whose man is this? Wrong segment. And I'll get more into this into more detail in a little bit. But I'm like, yeah, that's anytime you give a black person some money, they got to go out there and shine and get some, you know, some shiny shit. And it's like that's the problem with, you know, not being able to pass down wealth to kids and, you know, grandkids. You know what I mean? So
Facts. Financial
whose man is
literacy.
this? Yep.
Yep.
All right. So our next segment is called Hot Sheet.
Hot shit.
And yeah, man. So my hot shit is Chance the Rapper performed on NPR's Tiny Desk concert, which was, you know, kind of random, but it was super dope. And he did something totally different. He did he did one song from his last album, Juke Jam, and he just performed a poem, you know, that he wrote like 20 minutes going on his way to the NPR site or whatever, which was super
Procrastination.
dope. You know what I mean?
Procrastination. That's procrastination at its finest.
I guess, but it was super dope. And I just, you know, being able to see him just do something like that and do something totally different from what we are expecting was tight, man. So that's one of my hot shit, man. What about you, bro?
My hot shit is Adam Ruins Everything. If you have cable, it's on True TV. It's basically this guy that goes around and talks about different stuff that we might think is a certain way, but then it's not really that way. So he has different episodes where he ruins the myth of, well, not really ruins the myth, but he explores the industries and like ruins popular belief on certain things. So he talks about student loans, football, why going green isn't necessarily saving the earth, like a bunch of really hot topics, and he does it in a really funny way. And he has videos out there that are surfacing, and so you've probably seen some of his stuff on Facebook. I know one of them went viral. So it's called Adam Ruins Everything, and it's on True TV.
And if you got cable in this era, like, go out there and just kill yourself. You know what I mean? Because you got your Netflix, you got your Hulu, you got, you know, you could buy a regular antenna. Nobody buys cable anymore, guys. It's outdated. You know what I mean? Everything's online now. So yeah. All right.
Yeah. I mean, unless you have that money and you want to spend it. I met someone who was saying that they love giving that extra $60 to $100 a month to their cable company because they don't like to think about what they want to watch. They just want to have their TV on. And if you're one of those kind of people, well, good luck to you. But I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Okay. My next hot shit, bro, is 2 Chainz, man. 2 Chainz has been giving back to the community. He recently turned his crib into an HIV testing center.
Wait, his
I'm
real
like, you know
house,
what?
like his house where he lives?
Yeah, like one of his properties, he for a day he turned the whole thing into an HIV center where you can come and get tested, you know, to see if you have HIV. And I'm like, yo, that's super dope, helping, you know, the community and all. And people came from all over the country, and outside the country or whatnot. So, even though he doesn't rap about, you know, shit like that, you know what I mean? He's a trap rapper, you know what I mean? But the fact that he's giving back and he's doing it not just with his words but actions, I fucks with it, bro. You know what I mean? So 2 Chainz, yeah.
True.
Titty
Shout
boy,
out to 2
titty boy.
Chainz.
Yeah. Titty boy, 2 Chainz.
I forgot he called himself Titty Boy at one point.
Yeah, he did. Back in the day, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Duffel bag boy era.
Duffel bag. That song was hot though, bro.
It was.
Tight. All right, so our next segment is called Word on These Streets.
Word on these streets.
And our first segment is breaking down some of Jay-Z's 444 tracks. All right, we're gonna talk about it and kind of see what we both got from it. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. So with 444, I really think it's the album that I've been needing from Jay-Z or been needing from rap overall. This whole trend of like wasting your money. Honestly, so this album is financially woke, and I feel like the rest of rap is the opposite of that. Like when you listen to rap, it makes you want to spend money. Like listening to this shit is some responsible fiscal, you know what I'm saying? Like just being grown up shit.
What's the first track that you want to hit? Because I want to, you know what? Let's talk about the story of OJ. And I think that track is very important, man. You know what I mean? It's very has a lot of stuff in there that I think should be studied really by the culture. But the first one is the hook, man. Like the hook is powerful, man. It's simple, but it's mad powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one thing that I think we've both hit in our podcast since we started is like, you know, light nigga, dark nigga, phone nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, house nigga, fill nigga, still nigga. It's like, yo, we've been saying that, like, it don't matter what your occupation is, if you're a celebrity or whatnot, or if you're the lowest on the class or the highest, you know, in society, like that label, that's just gonna be there for life. You know what I mean? That's not gonna go away. And it's clever how you put it that way and how you did the whole hook, bro. You know?
Yeah, that's true, because we did tackle colorism, and then we did tackle the fact that that one Uncle Tom host was saying that LeBron James isn't black because he's rich or something. He was just saying that LeBron James doesn't get affected by black issues because he has money. And Jay-Z came out and said it. I mean, once Jay-Z confirms some shit, it's true, bro.
The facts, bro. Facts. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. My favorite part of the song is "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Okay.
Okay.
Bro, that pause, like, yeah, dope shit.
Is that a quote that OJ really said himself?
Yeah, he said it.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't see that. Bro, I'm too young, bro. I didn't even know that. So.
Shit, I'm too young too. Shit.
I gotta YouTube that one. Yo, that's crazy, and that's people that you know. And you can niggas say that, yeah, I'm not black. You know what I mean? Because of my status, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a false narrative. So.
And that's true. And we see people like that today. Like, I can't really think of a good example right now, but artists that feel like they're not related to the struggle because they're rich. And I'm sure there's like a really popular example. I'm forgetting to mention their name. But artists that feel like, oh, well, you know, like I'm not black or black lives don't matter, blah, blah, blah. Once they start making it, they don't really care about black issues.
Or Lord Kim, bro, I'm not black, I'm Chinese.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, man, like just that whole, I feel like that the chorus is literally like the theme of, it could be the whole theme of the whole album, really, if you think about it, you know what I mean, in one aspect.
Yeah, that's true.
Another favorite one of mine is take your drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it. I'm like, yo, that's some shit. Like if other drug dealers in the neighborhood, bro, just went and just started buying property and, you know what I mean, like investing back and like buying the neighborhood, bro, it'll be theirs and they could like fix it up and, you know what I mean, and make it nice and shit. But they ain't gonna do that, so.
I mean, like, I feel like people in the drug game, they think a little bit, they're not farsighted. They just think about the current shit. Like, they're not thinking like the Italian mob was, like, buying up the whole neighborhood and furthering shit. It's like dog eat dog and shit. Well, I've never been in the drug game from what I think it is.
Is that really, bro?
Yeah, I have to put that disclaimer out there.
All right. I can confirm that. So,
but no, I just realized it's a double entendre when he says that's how you rent, because I thought he said that's how you rent it, but I didn't realize he said rents it. But I guess it's a play on words. Jay-Z's still doing it. I think it's his 14th album.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Something else that I liked was when he said, hold on, I bought some artwork for 1 million. 2 years later, that shit worth 2 million. Few years later, that shit worth 8 million. I can't wait to give this shit to my children. I always thought that people that bought art were stupid, but after I heard that line, I'm like, holy shit, like it's an investment. You're not just buying this shit just to hang it on your wall. This shit is accumulating value as it's sitting on your wall. So that really changed my perspective.
And going off of that, the next two lines goes, y'all on the gram holding money to your ear. There's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. I'm like, yo, like niggas be flashing their money all the time when they got a little cash. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And real money, well, let's call it white money, right? They don't do that shit. Like you don't see fucking the guy who owns Facebook with money to his ear, but niggas just got to flash every time, and it's not really showing. It's showing rich money, but not wealth money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why is that money in cash anyways? Like it should be in your savings account. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah. So I mean. And I'm sure you know about Future being hurt about that, and Lil Boosie was hurt about that. So,
well, Future got to be hurt. I understand Future being hurt because Jay-Z washed his ass on a couple of songs.
Damn, it's true. I mean, I never had enough money to put it to my ear, like maybe a $20 bill. So I would call that like a pager, not a phone, bro. You know, so I never had a stack.
Got a razor and shit. It's a razor.
Yeah,
like
it's a razor, bro. I had like a $20 bill. But I mean, if I had that kind of money, bro, I would. Shit, I said you wouldn't know I had it because I'm not gonna put it out there. You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
I think differently, bro. You know.
Yeah, it's like that video of that guy that was counting money, and then the police bust into his house and arrest him, and all that money was just sitting there. Like anybody could have grabbed it. So that's pretty dumb.
Another one is I think this is verse 1. He's like, I bought every V12 engine. You know, and he's talking about how when he came out, he just bought shit. You know what I mean? And he wish he could start over and buy a place in Dumbo, I guess is what it's called. And now it's worth like 25 mil, and he could buy it for like 2 mil. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, bro, everyone that has a little bit of money, the first thing to do is get a nice whip. You know what I mean? It's like a black thing, bro. You know what I mean? So,
and I think people have to go through that. I think like every rapper, when you first come out, you're like, holy shit, this is the time to get it popping. Like I feel like Jay-Z had to go through the stage of like splurging money for him to get to the point where he's financially woke and all that shit. I think it's something that people have to go through, but you don't necessarily have to like just go all out kind of thing. Not like 5 Ferraris and 12 Phantoms and all that.
And not even rappers though. This applies to regular people. Let's say right out of college, you get your first job. Most likely you're gonna go out there and get you, you know what I mean, a nice car or whatever. And like you said, like you have to go through that, right? And then realize, you know what, I could have bought something cheaper and invest that money. You know what I mean? So I think it's more of a, we all have to learn that through life experience. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
What other tracks on there?
Before we move on, I guess the last thing is that I wanted to hit was you were talking about, you know what's more important than throwing away money at a strip club? Credit, bro. And so it's like, I don't know, we just went to a strip club, bro, recently, you know what I mean, down south. So I'm like, I felt the way about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
I mean, why couldn't he have said that before he went to the strip club?
Or maybe, like, can you use credit at the strip club? I don't know. I don't think so. What if you could, bro?
Like getting interest, like
I give you $2 tomorrow, you know what I mean?
But then it'd be $2.50 because they charge you like 50 cent interest.
Bruh, I can't. That's crazy. All right, what's the next song on there you want to hit, bro?
Well, I kind of wanted to go back to the first one, called "Kill Jay-Z,"
Yeah.
and that's one where he takes a shot at Ye, saying that, but you ain't a saint, this ain't kumbaya, but you got hurt because you did cool by Ye. You gave him 20 million without blinking. He gave you 20 minutes on stage. Fuck was he thinking? Um, yeah, that's a moment I didn't want to come. I didn't want them to start dissing each other publicly because, I mean, they've always been cool. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye has always had so much respect for Jay-Z, calling him his big brother publicly. Jay-Z never really said anything positive about Kanye in the news, as far as I know. But I'm sure Jay-Z really fucked with Kanye. Um, so I think that was I didn't want it to happen, but it did. But I really like the transparency about it, like the vulnerability, just saying how Kanye hurt him. But yeah, I think that was interesting.
Just to clarify, that 20 mil was not Jay's 20 mil he just gave to Kanye. It was a contract, you know what I mean, that the label gave Ye. I don't know. I didn't know that at first. I was like, yo, he gave him 20 mil like that. I mean, I'm sure he has it to give away, but it was a contract deal that's pretty standard, you know what I mean, for artists. So at the end of the day, man, just let Kanye go, man. Like off title, bro. Just let him go. He wants to do his own thing. He's always been that way, you know what I mean? So that's what I would do. Shit.
Yeah, well, like Kanye said, call Kanye. Why y'all doing this shit? Just call the man directly. Figure out what's
But
going on. Is he taking his medication? You know what I'm saying? Make sure he's okay.
but Kanye started though at his rant, if you think about it. So
Because Jay Z
maybe.
wouldn't call him. Kanye's needy.
Why did he call Jay-Z, bro? Why did
Jay Z be ignoring his shit. Every time he called Jay Z, it goes straight to voicemail.
he's just in the wrong phone, bro. That's like a money to his ear, bro. You know what I mean?
Now
For it
there's
to
a
work.
disconnect.
Literally. All right.
Yeah. So that's it for the first track. No, what's the other track you want to review?
Bro, this is my favorite track of the whole album, bro. Smile. Okay. Smile, and he sampled Stevie Wonder. And the song he sampled, I forget what it's called, but I'm like, yo, I have never heard this sample before, this song before, and the song, the sample itself is like super dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know about. I mean, I don't think that's really a message. It's, you know, it's about just being yourself and being who you are and love who you are. But that sample and the production on that is fucking probably the best I think of the whole album. So
Yeah, it's really soulful. Like I feel like I'm in church when I hear that shit. Like it has a Chance the Rapper feeling a little bit to it, but you know what I'm saying? Like you know how you be listening to Chance's songs and it kind of like takes you to like a church kind of place. Like it's really soulful and like the beat is on point and like the sing is on point. I think that's a level of production. Chance, but I think it might even be better than Chance. Like that kind of feeling that Chance gives you, I think it might be even better than that.
bro, okay, now you pushing it, bro. I don't think it's better than Chance's feeling in his song. It just you know what? It had that old school feel to it.
Okay,
Too,
true.
you know
Like
what I mean?
Kanye, like old school Kanye.
Yeah, like an old school Chicago beat and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I can't get over that song. I play it every day. But it's a really good song. So yeah.
Yeah, and in that song, he talked about how black people are getting locked up, but yet, weed is legal in Colorado, and that's something we mentioned in season 1. Go back and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? We did all this shit before Jay Z.
Bro,
been
we
woke,
like
nigga.
we foresaw all this happening, bro. It's almost like Jay just called us before and like or heard our podcast and then
Jay,
did his own shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, he did. He was like, take a young nigga's freedom over some dirt, yet it's legal in Colorado. Yeah, we deny black entrepreneurs free enterprise. That's why it's a black market. That's why it's called the trap. That's why it's called the projects, because it's exactly that. I'm like, yo, it's true. I'm like, yo, let these niggas out, because if you're going to legalize the fucking shit that they did, let them out, because that's the crime that they did. It's not a crime anymore. It's legal. So I feel like it's that's facts, man. And if it doesn't happen, bro, I think it should be a big fucking like uproar about it, and not just like protest, bro. Like some real shit needs to happen. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy. You know?
Yeah, I wish there was more black legal activists. You know what I'm saying? Like probably a lawyer, probably somebody like Angela Rye. Shout out to her. She has a podcast now. Probably somebody like that, like leading the black legal revolution. You know, because I think there's like different types of revolution that the black community needs to have. They need to have a financial revolution, which is finally happening, but the legal revolution, like how fuck you mean that there's all these black people locked up and now weed is legal in Colorado and no one's talking about getting them out? Like we need somebody like stirring shit up and like starting the fires and getting people riled up for that.
That's true. And then he also said in there, niggas will love you but hate you because they can't be you. Which that's always been true. I feel like niggas always gonna hate on someone being successful. I mean, if you're successful up to their standard, up to their level, it's okay. But as soon as you like go beyond like where they are, bro, like that's when niggas be like, you know what I mean, like fake smiling and shit. You know what I mean? So
True.
Just smile, man. Stop all this fake shit. You know what I mean? So like the song says, smile.
Well, before we leave the song, that line that you brought up was really good. I had to go back to it and listen to it a couple of times, just like rewinding that part where it's like black entrepreneurs, free enterprise. That's why it's called a black market. That's why it's called the trap. That's why it's called the projects. I was like, God damn, like yo, that really made me sit down and think about the terms that we use so often in rap music. You know what I'm saying? Like the trap, like because that shit really is a trap and niggas is getting caught up out here. So shout out to Jay for like just doing lyrical. I appreciate when people challenge my intellect, when people don't just rhyme China with China. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Nicki Minaj. Rhyming sauce with sauce, and it's like not even a different context. It's just the same shit. So I like when people actually go out of their way to do some clever wordplay. I think that's lacking in rap nowadays.
Yeah, bro, Jacob, bro. And lastly, bro, shout out to that poem at the end too. You know what I mean? About just being your damn self, because life's too short. Love who you want to love, be who you want to be with, and just do your own shit. Because nothing in life is guaranteed. So shout out to his mother on that poem. So
Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right, what's the next track that you want to
I
review?
think the other track, bro, is 444. You know what I mean? Where he's talking about his you know closet, his dirt in a closet that he did to Beyonce and whatnot. So
Oh yeah, that's the one where he takes a shot at Future, right?
I think so. I don't remember. I just remember him just talking about how he's apologizing to Beyonce and he's like saying he's sorry that he wasn't as mature in the past and that he did all this fucked up shit and that he loves his kids and that he'd feel away if his kids found out that he did all this dirt on her. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a lemonade response. I feel like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
true. Well, that's really confirming everything that's been said about Jay-Z and all that. That really confirms the fact that Lemonade was true. I'm one of those people that was saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's just art and
mhm.
shit. But now that this nigga responded, it's out there.
And he also said that Kanye egged on. Did you remember that fight that happened in the elevator?
Yeah.
Apparently, like Kanye was the one that egged on Solange to react and do all that shit to Jay-Z. I don't know. It was in there somewhere.
Oh,
So
that was in Kill Jay-Z.
oh yeah, Kill Jay-Z. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I didn't. Oh damn! I saw that, but I didn't know it was still in the same context as Kanye. Because I was just focused on the wordplay. He was saying something about finish your breakfast, and he was saying Kanye egged on Solange. Like the wordplay in there was so clever, I didn't even realize he was talking about Kanye. That seems like some shit Kanye would do. Kanye seems like he instigating shit.
I don't
He
know. I
instigating
took it
shit.
literal. So are there any other track? I feel like those three tracks are the ones that stand out at the whole album. Like Kill Jay-Z, Smile, and 444. Are there any others you think like stand out?
Yeah. Moonlight with the Fuji sample.
Okay.
That was pretty dope.
That's a good sample, by the way. That's a clever sample.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I don't get why it's not called La La Land. I don't get why it's called Moonlight, but whatever. Let's see. Let me pull up the
Well, I
lyrics.
guess because in La La Land, but you just moonlight, bro. You know what I mean? Because you're in La La Land.
What?
Bro, it makes sense. You in La La Land, and in La La Land, you moonlight. Because you're in La La Land, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you moonlight, right? You
Sure,
just moonlight.
sure.
Bro, come on, bro.
He said fake Dracos in the videos. I feel like that was a shot at Drake.
Oh, shit.
It
What
was
else did
it
he
was
say?
at all new rappers, really.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that was pretty dope. And then he said, "While we in Calabasas, and my head is scratching." I feel like all of that was a shot at Drake, but we don't know for sure.
yeah.
I didn't like "Caught Their Eyes." That's my least favorite track. I'll be skipping it all the time.
I
And
like,
huh?
I like the Bam one.
Yeah, with the Jamaican sample.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't remember the track on it, but he was just saying when he was scared of losing Beyonce, he was scared of the future that another man would be raising his son, like taking a shot at Future and Sierra and some shit. So I don't know if Jay-Z and Future beefing, but that's out there.
Who knows? You never know at this point. At the end of the day, I think it was a good project. 10 songs, not too long. But to me, the stands out are, like I said, Kill Jay-Z, Story of OJ. In Family Feud, he calls out new rappers, right? I think.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah,
that
yeah.
someone else?
I'm in the whip with your, like I'm in the skirt with your bitch. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was needed, man. It was needed. But I think the best sample in there is definitely Smile for sure. And then that Fuji sample was pretty good too. So
Yeah, it's pretty dope. A lot of the samples on that album are pretty dope, and he didn't even need Kanye to get some pretty dope samples. Look at that.
actually, I think one of the things he sampled, Kanye sampled in his early days. I just can't think of which one it was. Damn, should I looked it up. But anyways, he has 3 bonus tracks on the CD or whatever.
Yeah, but it's you can only get it on the physical copy, like if you buy the album physically, like the physical CD.
Oh, well,
That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
I ain't doing that. So
I ain't doing that either.
YouTube,
Shit, I haven't bought a
Shit.
CD in years, bro. Like a physical copy.
bruh.
I think the last
I don't
CD
know.
I bought was Kanye West, Late Registration. That was my
Damn.
one and only CD I bought in stores.
That's long time ago.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, shout out to Jay-Z for rapping about shit I can relate. I can definitely relate to saving money. I can't relate to you dropping millions on a champagne or some shit like that. So that's why I didn't really fuck with Jay-Z. But now that he's making relatable music, I'm fucking with Jay-Z again.
Yeah, it's very practical. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
very pragmatic. And it took him all this long to make this kind of, is this conscious, bro? Or is it just like, what would you like classify it as? You know what I mean? Is it under like K Dot, Damn album and J. Cole's last album, you know what I mean, as far as, genre? Or subgenre, I mean?
Yeah, I think it's conscious. I think it's Jay-Z's first ever conscious album where he's not talking about selling drugs or where he's not talking about any of that other shit, and he's talking about shit that actually matters to the black community. I think it's conscious.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I think people can hear it and then apply it to their life, like literally apply it to your life. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have celebrity backing. Sometimes you kind of feel like you're crazy, like you're trying to tell people that colorism exists, or you're trying to tell people that the justice system is unfair, or you try to tell people that They need to be financially woke and all that shit. And but you have the rappers that are like saying otherwise. So it's always good to have some backing, especially if it's from Jay Z, somebody who I think is regarded as one of the best rappers in the game, or like the most with the longest portfolio.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So go out and get it. Go out and support, black artists. Go and buy it. So
And Jay, we know you're listening. Shout us out on your next album. Now I'm saying you stole our material. You listened to
yeah,
our whole
man.
podcast and put that shit into music form. So we need our money. PayPal it to us. Ignorantbanter at PayPal.com.
And big ups to the title too. So yeah, good show with that one. All right, what's our next topic, bro?
All right, so our next topic, one of our favorite topics on the show, is artificial intelligence. Every episode we talk about artificial intelligence, and with good reason, because it's up and coming, it's a future. We've all seen The Matrix, we've all seen iRobot. That shit is real, it's scary, it's happening now. So Elon Musk, for you guys who don't know who he is, he's the founder and the creator behind Tesla. He had a meeting with several like leaders and government officials and stuff like that. And of all the shit he could have talked about, this man comes out and says that artificial intelligence needs to be regulated, not later, but right now. And you have somebody that could be talking about global warming, because when Trump took the U.S. out of the whole global warming deal with the rest of the other countries, Elon Musk was really pissed because, he's behind Tesla. He's all about renewable energy, blah, 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 blah. So that's his area. His area is renewable energy. So he really, you had a platform to speak about everything else, but you chose to speak about AI. I mean, I understand the threat, but I don't think it's as urgent. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's the future, bro, and it's gonna be here pretty soon. I mean, I don't think it's like a threat too. I mean, I think, like you said, global warming is more prevalent. You know what I mean? To talk about, but pretty soon AI is gonna be a reality. You know what I mean? Especially with VR too. VR gaming. They got VR porn now. I mean, like 10 years from now, it's gonna be heavy in society, but it's not a threat. Nothing to be worried about. I think it's all BS really if you think about it. So hence why we need the Robocop to come in to save our race. You know what I mean? So matter of fact, it needs to be here sooner than later so we can get that going. You know what I mean? So we can get all the cops off the streets. So all the bad ones. Let me
I
rephrase
saw
that.
this
All the bad
article, right?
ones.
Motorola now has this software where now they're able to, I guess, from all kinds of devices out there. So let's say if they're looking for me, they put my face out, like the AI would recognize me. Let's say I go through a traffic light, the AI would automatically catch me and I'd be locked up if I was wanted for something. So they have this, and it's kind of scary. Like if you're looking for somebody, you can easily find them with this AI technology. So, but what this man was saying, Elon Musk, he was saying from what he's seen, he said he has access to some cutting edge shit. And from what he's seen, he's scared. So that's why he wanted to let everybody know, like, we need to start taking steps to regulate this shit before it's too late.
Who's we? Like talking about the politicians and stuff in Congress, or like who's
Yeah,
we?
yeah, the politicians. He wants to put in AI regulation before it's too late. But do you think that do you think we could ever get overtaken by AI, by machines?
Nah, I think that's all fiction. Because we're the ones that are programming these AIs. We're the one that's writing the code to the AI to be able to do what they're doing. So I highly doubt that somehow that the software and that the code that we're writing is gonna be able to manifest its own, thinking and be able to like do shit that's not in the program. You know what I mean? So I think that's all from the movies and shit. You know what I mean? So
But
um,
I saw
what
this
can
thing
happen
where,
though is
huh?
people can hack into an AI, right, to make it do something that we wasn't planned to do. You know what I mean? I can see that happening. But what are you saying?
Um, so I think I saw this article that came out last week. Basically, Alexa, the Amazon AI shit, called the police when a man was beating his girlfriend. Like it knew that the man was beating his girlfriend and called the cops. So
For real? I mean, is that bad though? Is that a bad thing?
no, 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 not at all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's showing that that shit is evolving. Like I feel like as AI is evolving, it's gonna start making its own decisions, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And when you
I mean,
think,
it's.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say it's definitely gonna like it's AI, so it's gonna be programmed to adapt and make decisions. But I would hope that the scientists who are doing these doing the coding and the programming have some boundaries to what they can't learn. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have that boundary of what they can't learn, then I can see that being a problem. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be adapting and being able to like perform new tasks and evolve. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a gray area, but it's definitely a possibility. I don't think it's that great, but it can definitely happen.
And here's my other fear. So, like you're saying with the scientists programming the AI and stuff like that, how many of these scientists are actually black? You know what I'm saying? So they might be programming the AI with like different cultural biases and stuff like that. Like if the AI has a facial recognition software for criminals, it might think a black person is more likely to commit a crime, or it might be looking at statistics and not be looking at real life facts. So that's where my fear comes in.
I'm pretty sure if it did happen, that would definitely be true. You know what I mean? So the AI would definitely somehow, some way, I can foresee the AI, being more biased because of who's doing the programming or whatever towards, you know what I mean, black and brown people. You know what I mean? Because it's prevalent now. Even like if you do a Google search, what do you see? If you put, black some things, always negative stuff that comes up. You know what I mean? So it's that's not gonna go away. I feel like wherever we're in society, bro, like we're getting the bad end of the stick. You know what I mean? So that ain't gonna change.
Yeah. For example, if you go on Google and you type in man or you type in woman, it's hard to find a black person on there. Or if you type a third world country, like you type in Haiti, it's definitely like bad pictures. And if that's feeding into the AI, then that could definitely give the AI some biases. But another way that AI is kind of scary is because a lot of these big industries are looking to replace a lot of their workforce with AI. So there's going to be a point where they're not really going to need people to do a lot of jobs. They're just going to need more IT people to regulate the AI. So if you're out there, you're in college, pick up IT. That's my advice to you. I feel like I'd be dropping gems, bro. Like I just be telling
Bro,
people
you
what to
do, bro. I'm like, damn, but I just want to say, you ain't finna get me with this AI stuff. I'm still gonna have a job. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna get my 9 to 5 runs. You know what I mean? So until Jay-Z call us to sign us, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be going to work every morning. So
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Ain't no AI finna take my job.
no white AI, bro. No white AI
coming over
job,
here
bro.
taking my job.
That's the title. But no, that's a good gem, bro. If you are in the STEM field, you're always gonna need IT security, you know what I mean, cybersecurity, because everything now is towards, programming and security of different systems, different software systems. So that's a booming right now industry. So that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, that's where you should head. You should definitely be headed in STEM, IT, all that shit. Or you can open up your own dispensary. I don't know. I feel like there's so many options now.
Be your own daddy.
Be your,
Reference to Be Your Own Daddy. Go
be
check it
your
out, you know what I
own
mean?
daddy. Exactly.
Season 1, episode 10, I think. So anyway, yeah, I'll open your own shit. You're right. So, but if I think you're right, IT is gonna be here forever, and AI is gonna be racist. AI is gonna be racist. Yeah, that's true, because like you said, if we're seeing it now on Google, bro, that's gonna translate to the code and the software that's going to this AI. So it's not gonna be a clean slate. It's not gonna be any different. It's gonna be the same storylines or whatever that we're seeing today. You know what I mean? Just in a different format. So
Yeah, we just need some black programmers, some black coders to actually balance it out. And the likeliness of that happening is not very likely.
So get an IT degree and get a software engineering degree or computer science degree. You know what I mean? If you're out there and you're part of the black brown community. So
Yep.
all right.
All
We
right.
done?
So yeah, I don't have anything else to add onto this. Jay-Z's album, dope. It took Jay-Z like 50 something years to like be woke. So I mean, there's hope for anybody out there.
Yo, he should have had a video to where he shows a futuristic world with AI, with racist AI, bro. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
And
that
shows
would've been
how,
dope. But I don't
and
think
then
Jay-Z's that advanced.
and then going to change. Yeah. So
That would be
Um,
dope. And like, imagine having like an AI, like stopping two black people, and one of them's like, "But I'm light skinned," and it's like still nigga, dark nigga, light nigga, still nigga.
if we see this, the video comes out pretty soon, and we see this concept, I'm suing.
Yo,
Just so y'all know. So
see us in
this
court,
is right
Jay-Z.
here. This is our idea. So don't steal that shit. All right.
Lawyer up. All right. So next segment, fuck you mean. What's your fuck you mean for this week?
All right, I got 2 of them. All right, my fuck you mean, bro, is the first one is Conor McGregor. So you guys know that in one of the press conferences he called, he said to Floyd Mayweather, "Dance for me, boy." You know what I mean? And that boy has that connotation of being, a racist slur, right?
Yeah.
So he went on. He said himself he's not racist, and he said he's half black from the waist down.
Ooh, who's that?
Bro. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm not racist. I'll show you. He's like, I'm half black from the waist down. Then he goes and he's like, oh, I have a special gift for my black females. And then he begins to hump, you know what I mean, the black female, bro. I'm like, yo, who who is this guy's PR? Like, who cleared this? This is like cultural appropriation, whatever you want to call it, to the max. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you have to clarify that you're not racist, you're probably racist. You know what I mean? So,
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I don't think he meant to be racist when he said it, because he's from Ireland. He probably doesn't know the context, and I feel like people from Ireland say boy a lot. Like they use the word boy a lot.
do they though? I mean, do they? Because
I don't have a lot of Irish friends to validate this, but from the Irish movies I've seen, they say boy a lot. And I think he was just trying to say how his whole thing in context, like when I watch a conference, he was just saying how what's his name? Floyd Mayweather looks like a little kid and even dressed like a little kid. He was saying like, look at me, I'm dressed like a grown ass man kind of, and look at him, because he was wearing a suit and Floyd Mayweather was wearing just like a shirt, jeans, and sneakers. So that he was calling like a little boy, like not a full mature adult. I don't think he meant to be racist, but it definitely did come out that way. But where he fucked up at is when he said the whole black from the waist down and like humped the imaginary black woman. That's
Yeah,
Yo.
exactly, bro. I'm telling you. And if you are Irish and you're out there, let us know if the boy is used a lot over there because I'm not so certain. And plus, if he didn't mean it, like if he did not mean it that way, bro, the first time he said it, why did he said it one time and then he said his next word was dance for me, sir, right? So he turns it up and then they cut his mic at the first press conference. So obviously,
Right after he said boy.
yeah, like right in that time frame, his mic was cut. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that I don't know if
He was just trash
that's
talking, and then it just came out. Like you ever said something, and then you didn't mean for it to come out a certain way, and then it comes out, and you kind of like try to change it up. I don't think he meant
like
to
Bill
say
Mayer.
that, but then now he's like trying to make the best out of it. Like he's capitalizing out of that moment,
Well, I hope he gets to knock the fuck out. So that's my prediction.
and he will. He will.
Yeah.
My bet still
So
stands. If anybody still wants to put money on that fight, I will put up money.
I got $1. Shit, let's go. All right, do you have a fuck you mean, bro?
Nah, I don't gotta fuck you mean this week.
All right, and then my next fuck you mean is Michael Vick, man. I'm gonna keep this quick because we're running over time right now. But he went on the air on FS1 with that coon guy again. I can't think of his name. And he said that Colin Kaepernick is not being blackballed by the NFL for his stance on racism, but rather he needs to cut his afro. His afro is the problem, and that's why he's not being signed. He needs to cut his hair and be more presentable. And I'm like, really, nigga? Like
Wow.
you the nigga that got your career died because they caught you or whatever for dogfighting when white people get acquitted every day for killing unarmed black people, man, black children. You know what I mean? So it's like, how you go on air with a low cut trying to kiss ass to this dude trying to get a job? I don't know what he's trying to do, but I'm like, yo, from Michael Vick, he was a culture. I'm surprised. Like that's big from Mike Vick, bro. You know what I mean? And he had cornrows in the NFL. He had all kind. He pretty much was like the Allen Iverson of the NFL. He wore the culture, the hip hop culture, everything. And now you're gonna tell him he can't wear his afro when he's doing something real for the culture? Come on, bro. What do you mean, bro?
That's called respectability politics. People say that all the time. Like, oh, you wouldn't have been pulled over if or you wouldn't have been stopped by the cops if your pants weren't sagging. You wouldn't like you wouldn't have gotten raped if you weren't wearing a short skirt. People always try to like make excuses for people who are like oppressing other people. You know what I'm saying? They always take the oppressor side. But what I think with Vic, what he's trying to do is that he's trying to get in with white people again. He lost their favor because he committed the ultimate white crime, bro. Like white people, if you
Dog
do this
fighting.
shit, it's the most unforgivable thing. He was like having dogs fight. You know, white people love dogs more than they love people, bro. They like, nah, bro. Like once you do that, you're out of their graces. And this nigga's trying to find his way back in by like shitting on Colin Kaepernick is what I think is happening.
I think we need to trade. I think we need to trade Colin Kaepernick. I mean, Mike Vick and R. Kelly, bro. So a different race. So
Let's give him to white people.
I agree.
Well, white people won't take Michael Vick though, because he was doing the whole dog fighting thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the ultimate white crime. Once you do that, you're banned.
You just can't do that, bro. Right? That's so true. All right, at least just take R. Kelly and live. I guess we can keep Mike Vick for now. So
It's like you can kill black people, you can start a war, but you have dogs fighting? Hell no, you ain't coming over to the white side.
shit, stay over there, nigga.
Who would want it? Maybe Spanish people? No, Hispanics.
Well, let me take that back. They might enjoy dogfighting more. I'm just saying. You know what I mean, facts.
Ignorant banter.
I might get
baby.
a
Now
lot of
say it.
backlash from this, but fuck it.
Okay.
Anyways,
Asians? No.
nah, Asians won't take them. I don't think.
Who likes
What about
dog
Indians?
fighting? Indians? Maybe like the
I
Middle
don't-
East, somewhere in the Middle East. No.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably true. I can see that happening in the desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And they upgrade and they have like hyenas and shit, like lions and all that shit.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, and we can give R. Kelly to white people. I feel like they'll take him.
They will. They love the songs.
Yeah, but fuck out of here, Michael Vick. Talking
Yeah,
shit
fuck you
about
mean,
Colin Kaepernick. Fuck you mean, bro? And I feel like Colin Kaepernick doesn't even really have an afro because he doesn't even have the hair texture for it to be like a full nappy ass afro. You know what I'm saying? So that can't be the reason.
I don't know what he was thinking, but it was the most cool thing I've heard. You know what I mean? From anyone really. So
Well, he was on a cool ass show. I forget what's the name of that guy.
I can't think of it, bro. I'm blanking out, but
But he's the
I
same
don't
one
know.
that said that LeBron James wasn't black because he's rich.
yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah.
Well, a big fuck you to that guy.
All right, agreed. All right, moving on to quotes. All right, go ahead, bro.
So my quote comes from James Baldwin, and it says, "Those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by those doing it." So while you're saying it can't happen, somebody go interrupt you because they're actually doing it and they're being positive and they're making their dreams come true. That's my positive quote.
All right, tight. Mine is ignorant today, and it is by well, let me say it first. A nigga just get confused. All right, by Young Buck. And I feel like it's true, man. Like niggas just get confused in the sense that like we're like always behind. You know what I mean? Like we're always trying to catch up. And I know it's been a long road to get to where we are right now. And with this album, man, from Jay-Z, man, like we need to get this whole confusion out the way about money and like financial like wokeness and like we're thinking about just ourselves and not our kids, you know what I mean, our grandkids and passing down wealth, you know what I mean? So I feel like niggas need to just stop being confused, like wake your ass up because, you know, at a certain point that separation happens in your 30s and 40s and you get left behind, you know what I mean? And that shit just happens over and over again for your kids. And so you gotta get out of that shit, bro, you know what I mean? So that's my quote for today.
Facts. Can I get some context though? What did he say that in what interview or what video?
To be honest, I don't have the video right now. I just know he said it, and I just kind of use that to, you know, put my own twist onto it. So
True. That's what's up.
all right, and then before we go, we have to shout out to our #1 fan on SoundCloud right now, Kyra, or is it Kira? I'm gonna go with Kyra. Kyra Hall. She's been supporting us. You know, she's been leaving comments and pretty much giving us motivation to continue. So we appreciate you. Keep
Cheers.
listening. And if you have any topics you want us to hit, let us know. We'll definitely talk about it. So
You the real MVP. Shout out to you.
yep. Do we have a sponsor today? I don't think we do.
You know who
Who?
you know who our sponsor is today?
Who?
It's you know when you go to Walmart and you get that fake ass juice, but it tastes really good.
Yeah.
And you know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's like that.
I do,
It lasts
I do.
forever. You can drink it for like 5 years and that shit is still there. It tastes good as fuck.
You talking about the Tampico?
Nah, it's not Tampico, bro. But you saw it when you came to my house. It was in the fridge. It's like
Oh,
this big jug.
The Minute Maid.
Yeah.
The Minute Maid fruit punch, bro.
Yeah, from Walmart. Shout out to that. Keeping us hydrated
Alright.
for years, and a gallon lasts you forever. So thank you for sponsoring us. We appreciate it. On some hood shit.
Facts. That shit tastes good too. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. So
It do. All right, so we're signing out. It's your boy Black Caesar, aka Caesar Alamo, aka Slickback Jones the Don.
and it's Crazy P, aka CP, aka fried beans, Haitian rice and beans, carnation milk, fried malta, fried zo. We out here, episode 2. Let's get it. Yeah.